13 of the most sinister villains of all time, the Legion of Doom, dedicated to a single objective, the conquest of the universe. Only one group dares to challenge this intergalactic threat.
What is up, everybody? We are live Saturday night, 8 o'clock here. We are in Justin's Bat Cave, coming out to you right after the 3 Minute in the Basement comic swap. We have the 3 Minute in the Basement, plus we have Dave in the Cave with us tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, man. So just to get started, man, we had a great day today, okay? So this was a big day for us. This was our 3rd annual 3 Minute in the Basement comic book swap. We're down here in Jersey. We're reveling in all of Nemesis Prime's statues and like variants and books. And,
justice.
My God, it's just unbelievable. Stuff down here just ogling himself in comic books. And we're just happy to be here today. So thank you very much for hosting today. You did a great job.
Thank you.
With the location. Shout out to Frenchie's Bar and Grill in Roselle Park.
New Jersey. Thank you, Frankie, so much for letting us have the venue. You know, it was a great time. Again, I got it at a good enough price where I didn't have to charge for tables.
Correct.
So, you know, to everybody who set up, they didn't have to pay, which was great because, you know, sometimes that's what happens. I mean, you have to pay to set up for a few hours. I mean, these people just got to, have a table.
Right.
Have a table for free.
Just show up. And I definitely think that we had enough tables. I don't think that there was any
No, I didn't even think there was room to put a couple more if we needed to.
We definitely could have. We definitely could have. So I want to give a shout out before we get started. I want to give a shout out to everybody that showed up today because it was a great day. Because not only did we have the NY Warriors, not only did we have some of the Comic Book Fiend Club, but Justin, let's give us a rundown of everybody who was there. So before we go into the live chat and give everybody a shout out.
Yeah. So, I basically kind of wrote down a list of everybody who set up today, who showed up that, I remembered. So I want to, give shout outs to the people that are on Instagram. We have Johnny5, AA Comics, Very Gary Comics, who I see he's in the chat right now.
Look at my glass. Look, hold on. I got it the wrong way. Look at this.
Hey,
Very Gary's here with us right here.
Gary, I collect pint glasses, right? Seriously.
Matt Forge, Dave in the Cave, my boy Eric, 1320 Comics, Ink Jedi, and Nerdy Girl Inked from the Comic Book Fiend Club. Comics and Culture came all the way from PA. Geeky Swag Shop, of course. Joe Crochet, X Last Level Comics. Of course, Manny and Joker M21 from the NY Warriors, and of course, all of us from 3 Men in a Basement.
That's right.
So we had a lot of people.
Darth Richards was another one.
Yes,
Darth Richards showed up.
Richards too, absolutely.
Yeah, as well as, of course, and all the people that just came through that weren't,
part of a crew or anything like that, or just not on the IG, that just absolutely showed up. So
I think that was the best part, like having those unknowns where you didn't know,
just who would show up, or more importantly, people that said, hey, you know what? Let's take time out of our day. These guys seem to be organizing something. They might not follow us here. They might not follow us on Facebook or Instagram, but you know what? They took the leap of faith and said, you know what? I'm going to show up and I'm going to see what we got, man. And I'll tell you, everybody here did good except for Otto. Otto, no. I'm gonna keep it real, right? So
you got some good stuff.
I did buy some good stuff, but as far as selling, I totally
appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. But as far as selling goes, dude, I too pump chump today. I just did not do well moving my books. I got tons of stuff that I could go over. So let's go from the selling aspect, right? We're gonna go around and talk about how the selling aspect was. So you guys come, you have your stuff. Dave, did you sell stuff?
I sold some stuff today.
You sold some stuff today. Okay, good.
It's funny because it's like, it's the definition of what a comic swap is. Everybody literally visiting everybody else's station and kind of chopping it up that way. So that's how I.
All right, so you sold stuff.
Yeah.
I sold stuff and traded stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. So you just sold stuff. We'll talk about the trading stuff. The next round. So you sold stuff.
Yep. Sold some stuff.
Now, do you feel that your stuff was priced to move? This guy, this is funny. Yeah. I'm looking through Justin's books and
used car sales.
Yeah, he's like, everything's priced to move, buddy. Let's go. Everybody's priced to move. You got cash in hand. I'm ready to go. So I, however, did not do a good job selling, unfortunately. But you know what? Trains go east and trains go west. Roger, you sold stuff right away.
I sold some stuff right away. First book right to you. First sale of the day.
Yeah. So my first purchase was First Black Mass, baby. I finally got it.
Cherry pop.
I got it. That's it. I got it.
Time.
You know.
And
did you give me a good deal on this?
I gave you a wonderful deal. I priced to sell, baby.
Your price is hell, all right. So now Otto has his black mask. This is
Right,
definitely going to get sent out for his
Yeah.
Batman villains and stuff like that. So that was the first book.
And I
right.
did. I did. Yes, I did well. I did sell some books, and you know, and I bought some good books, and you know, ended up on top when you think about how much I made and how much I sold. So
Yeah,
good stuff.
absolutely. Now, trading wise, right? Did you trade anything? Like, did you say, I'll give you this for that, or back and forth? Did you trade anything?
I traded with one of the vendors that was there.
You did. Nice.
I had a one of the Vampirella foil covers that he was after.
Okay.
And he basically said, "Hey, anything that you see on the table, you know,
Yeah.
up until
Nice.
that amount." And I was like, "Oh, that's great."
Right.
So,
Nice,
cool.
nice. Trade?
Yeah, towards the end, you know, me and AA Comics, he had a book that I was interested in, and you know, it was literally like, I mean, we were done. It was after 5 o'clock. We were really just closing up, and I kind of went back to his stuff and saw something. I said, "Listen, why don't you just come over, and instead of me paying you cash, you know, let's see what we can get some
Right.
trades." And that's what we did.
Right on.
So it was perfect.
Nice. So I apologize. I forgot the gentleman that I traded with. He came with his wife, had some good books. And he went over, he looked at my X-Men 49 and 50. He was actually interested in the 50. I kind of wanted to sell it him as a set. And you guys know I'm a huge X-Men fan. And he had this nice X-Men 104 graded 9.0 book,
Nice.
which goes good. You know, I like to have these
Are
books.
we
at
already
9.
showing books off? I thought we were going to
So
say
this is
that.
about
for
a
the next-
trade. This is about a trade.
Oh, all right.
I
Well,
traded.
okay. I didn't show my books yet.
But
But
did you trade for those?
yeah, I did some.
Oh,
So
shit.
but it's fine. It's
so,
fine.
Family
No,
show,
no.
I apologize.
We'll go through
All
the
right.
next
So
round.
I ended up trading for this. So that was a good move. So I did do a trade right there. So that was good. And how about you?
I did not, and I did have one guy who I should have traded with, but I was trying to sell raffle tickets and stuff at the same time, and he had the book in his hand, and I'm like, you know, before we get all screwed up, pay me for that, and I ended up going back over there and spending almost the same amount at his table anyway. So,
Yeah.
Right.
but
in
I
theory,
had
you
too
can
much.
trade it.
Yeah, I had too much stuff going on
Yeah.
for me to try and make that happen at the moment. So,
Right. Nice. So then we did, so as the day went on, we did trivia. And who won the round of trivia that we did? Who was the winner on that?
it
Very
was
Gary won.
Very Gary tied
Tied.
with
Very-
last level,
yeah.
last
I
Travis.
mean, this guy, Very
Yeah,
Gary, the guy
Travis.
on my
Very
class
Gary
right here,
Comics.
Very Gary right here.
Travis, and
Yeah.
then I was going to flip a coin, and Gary's like, you know, he can have it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just
There you
Very
go.
Gary
Gary.
Comics, guys. He's here. Thank you
Very
so
nice.
much for giving that to
Yeah.
someone who
Really appreciate it.
Really
Bought a
liked
nice
it,
book
so.
from you today. That was very nice.
Absolutely. So before we go any further in the live chat, we've got Very Gary, we've got Lou Espinoza, Sean Richards, Randy Sloan. Randy Sloan's going to show up eventually. I hope Mr. Watkins is going to take the trip to one of these. We've got Mr. Wobbles, Very Gary, now Mrs. Obviously, there was Joker M21, Mr. Comics 89. Yeah, the sound does sound much better. You got to understand, we were down in the hall. We
Yeah.
had lots of people talking. I knew the sound
it was
kinda-
it was so loud
it was
down
so
there.
loud.
You know, and we didn't want to be like, guys, we're doing a live show. Keep
Yeah,
quiet.
stop.
You know,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
you can't be like that.
You can't-
Yeah,
right.
right.
But I mean, it was great. I mean, everybody's conversating, and I mean, this is the third one that we've done, and it's great. I mean, you just see people talking that have never met,
Mhm.
and really they've only maybe met on like through
Right.
YouTube stuff or IG
Yep.
stuff, and it was perfect. That everybody's making connections, making friendships,
Yep.
making connections for maybe future
Future
sales,
sales, right? Oh,
purchases.
absolutely,
was
absolutely.
great.
I think it stands the testament of time too, because I mean, towards the end, I mean, you were hearing people talk about, well, hey, when's the next one?
When's
gonna
the
be?
next one?
When's
Right.
the next one?
When's
Where's
the-
it going to be?
Yeah.
You know, you guys going to do
Correct.
it before or after?
Right. When I was talking with Joker M21, he's like, I didn't really know what to expect, but now that I know what it's like, and
Yeah.
you know what, like I said before, like we didn't know what to expect when we started this a year ago, but this was a joke of my intro when I told everybody, I go, listen, as long as Roger shows up, I go, me and Roger are going to have it. I go, as long as Justin shows up, we have 3 people,
Yeah.
so we have an event, right? You know,
We had
and
the
then-
same attitude in Jersey.
Yeah,
We knew
right.
Dave was going to be here as long as it's us four.
Right, exactly. So, and then people started strolling in.
We'll have a
and-
good time.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was definitely a good time. Was had by all, and just a really, really good time. We have a winner for one of our raffles. Did you win today?
I did.
You did. What'd you win today?
What's
A 9.8.
A 9.8. That's
Yes, you
all I
did. You
know.
did. You won
An
one at
absolute-
9.8.
an
I'll
absolute
give it.
garbage
You
no
get.
one.
So people put in the raffles. People put in for door prizes. We had 2 door prizes. One of the door prizes was from the Little Basket NY. They are on Instagram. They're also on Facebook. And
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. So they
Yeah.
gave a nice little gift basket. It was like a 9.8 book, as well as some candy, some cups, all comic book related.
Yeah.
So if you guys check my Instagram, I did post it. So again, the Little Basket NY. They are on Instagram. So if you're looking for anything like that, check them out.
And
Thank
if
you
they're
guys so
watching us,
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome.
And of course, our other door prize was, a graded book, is signed and graded book.
by
Yeah.
Martina, and it
by
was funny
Martina.
because Manny was joking about the CBCS, and he ended up winning a CBCS book. So
Yeah.
kind of funny how the world turns when it comes like that. So that was really neat. And then we went through the day, and it was a lot of fun. We had food upstairs. Everybody was bopping back and forth. But I really feel that even though there was a bar tavern upstairs, everybody wanted to stay downstairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
went up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
came back down.
you know what I mean? You went up, you got your cocktail instead of hanging up upstairs. You came back down, you chopped it up. You said, hey, what, we were talking. And I remember talking to our friend from Pennsylvania. Who was our friend from Pennsylvania?
Comics and culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Had some
about
great
some,
stuff.
yeah, good stuff.
I mean, everybody
Good
had
stuff.
great.
Yeah.
Everybody had good stuff that was
stuff.
whether it was like trade bait or just purchase worthy. I mean, we've all got books that
Right.
I mean to show off. So it's amazing.
Right, absolutely.
Good
So we have books to show off. So
I
let's
think it was a great 3 Men in the Basement
event.
event.
All right, shout out to us.
So
shout out to us.
all right, but leading into that,
Yeah,
Cheers.
as we hang out with 3 Men in the
Over
Basement, and Dave
18,
and Dave,
absolutely.
Copa,
Yeah,
not for kids.
I think what we need to do now
because
is,
Dave's been hanging out with us for a while, right?
I think at this point, Dave, we want to make you an official member.
Oh,
Three Men in the
Three Men in the
Basement.
Basement.
There you go.
Okay,
So
so here's
congratulations.
your hoodie,
Yes.
and I think that you not only fit in well with us, but I think you the stuff that you do is just improves our show,
Yeah.
right.
and we enjoy having you on. We enjoy talking with you. Enjoy doing the shows with you. So it's only fitting that you become an official member of
3 Men in the Basement. There you
So
go. All
you've
right,
been,
there you
you've been
go.
knighted.
Awesome.
You have been
Yeah,
knighted. You've been
yeah,
ordained.
yeah.
There we go.
Sweet.
Look at that.
I love it.
Yeah,
Thank
look
you,
at that.
guys. It means a lot. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, okay, right.
Of course,
We're
you
getting
have to-
choked up over
Of
here.
course, if you accept.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. Are you kidding me? I love chopping it up.
All right. There you go. Cheers to that. There we go. All
For
right.
unboxing.
So it's no longer 3 Men in the Basement and Dave in the Cave.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just 3 Men in the Basement.
That's right.
Shit, I gotta family show. I gotta edit my label now.
That's right. There you go. So we were talking about that for a while. So we're happy to have Dave in the Cave on board with us.
Yes.
He's got his own channel, he's adding content. His Spider-Man collection is absolutely amazing. His knowledge, his comics in general is great. Just elevates my intelligence as I hang out with all you guys,
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. He's got the hoodie now.
Me
He's
too,
got the
and
logo.
I can't get any
so-
worse. So.
Yeah. You can't get any lower than that. So now that that's done, let's talk about books.
Yes.
You got books.
I got books.
You got books.
I
Okay.
got books. I got some pop culture stuff.
Yeah,
too.
okay.
So, Nemesis Prime picked up one of these. It's like a Zatanna. Is it a cover or poster?
I don't know. It was a print.
That's pretty.
That's
cool.
dope.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So we had a vendor there that he didn't sell any comics. He was a non-sports card collector of even promo stuff
Yeah.
like that. So stuff that's given away at comic shops, stuff that you can get at shows. He had it all. I
He did.
mean,
It was very bizarre. It was
He had-
eclectic stuff. I should say.
Yeah,
Not
It was
bizarre.
like pop culture.
It was like,
but he had a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Sports.
Yep.
Pinup, which you'll
Star
see here in a
Wars,
minute.
Right,
Marvel,
right.
DC,
yeah.
everything.
So I like Joseph Lintzer's art
Yep.
a lot, and I actually picked up like 2 promo postcards. So
And that was from that same guy. Huh?
yeah, this
Yeah.
is from the same guy. So I got that one, and then I also got this one, which is awesome.
Yep.
Looks like my wife.
In a card.
And then to finish it, you know how I like mini comics.
That's
Yeah.
right. Look at that.
So there you go.
I was actually looking at that too. See,
Yeah.
hold on a
That's what
second.
you get.
This is what happens when you don't bite on certain things.
That's right.
I was looking at that point in case number 1, and I missed out on it. Dave got it. Okay.
So then I picked up a Marvel Spotlight 32. I heard about this on that other show.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Lord's Alarm Box. You heard about
Yeah.
that? We were talking about that.
So it's mid-grade.
Yeah.
I don't need anything too crazy.
Right. And how did you feel it was priced? Price to
Good.
move? Right.
Good. 40
Okay.
bucks.
All right, man. 40
Can't-
bucks.
Can't beat
You
that.
can't beat it.
But I got these next 2 from Very Gary. So Zatanna 11. See that one in the background from Mr.
You're gonna have
Mr.
AH take
Nemesis
care of that?
Prime
You're
right
gonna-
there?
yeah, really. Is that an AH candidate?
It is.
It is.
I think it's a 9E candidate.
Okay.
Take
Yeah.
a
Of course, if you submit it.
Yeah, right. Of course.
And then
Of course, it is. Oh,
An
this
Amazing
is pretty.
Spider-Man 18.
Big book right there. Nice
Yeah.
book. Ditko at his finest.
Both of these were purchased from Mr. Very Gary. So
Nice.
thank you, sir.
All
As
right.
always.
Nice.
All right. And then I got this next one from Comics and Culture. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 800. This is the Mike Mayhew variant, 9.8 CBCS.
Now that label's got a lot of writing on it. What's that
Yeah.
label saying? Is it like
They do this verification service. It says the entire print run was verified
yeah?
by CBCS and was reduced to 309.8 copies. So the accepted industry practice of complimentary overprinted did take place.
Okay.
So I guess
Wow, that's
they
Yeah.
went the extra mile on
Yeah.
it. So that's cool.
Nice.
And then my last purchase was from Mr. Roger Levesque.
I think you paid. I mean, did he give you a good deal on that?
I hope he gave you a great
He gave me a
deal.
good
He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
a hell of a deal.
9.6 First Carnage. And then on a
Now listen. Now what happens with that?
And
Hold on a second before we get there.
Yeah.
Now Carnage, right? You were going to move that book, but you didn't want to hold it, right? Because
Right.
if it, they showed Woody Harrelson in his shirt and stuff like that. Now your thing was like, do I sell it or I hold
Right, I
on
was
to it?
coming on whether or not I was going to give someone a good deal or hold on to it for when it spiked. And throughout the day, I had a couple offers and I didn't bite. And it wasn't until if one of you guys needed to make me an offer. For me to
Right,
come
right.
down.
There you go. Nice.
Well, real
And-
quick, can I interject? So that book has now been passed to 3 people in this room because I had that book. You won it on an auction, and then you sold it to this guy.
Yeah.
No, I had that book. I owned it. I sent it out for pressing.
Really? I
I
think
won
you
a
buy.
9.8.
No.
The one I have at home is a 9.8.
yeah, you do. You have a 9.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
remember
I
that.
thought you won a book. Didn't you buy at an NY Warriors auction? Didn't you buy something? I definitely
He
sent
doesn't
you. a
remember.
book.
Look, he doesn't remember.
I definitely sent you that book.
No, Amazing Spider-Man 361.
Yeah. We're gonna have to go back to an NY Warriors auction because I need to
Go
check
back
that
and
out.
Check the tape.
We're gonna have to review
Right.
the videotape.
So, Dave, do you feel all in all that you got good deals on your books?
Oh yeah, but I
Right.
put this one in my hands.
Oh my God. All right. So hold on a second before we go any further. This was a huge donation for our raffle by Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank is a friend of mine from the south end of Hartford, went to the same high school as I do. Just a guy that I've been hanging out with and I've become real good friends with. Also, Uncle Frank has books with Rocket Comics right now at C2E2. So at our next big live unboxing, Uncle Frank says he is going to hold on to his books and he's going to do a live unboxing with us.
Nice.
He also submitted a book at Terrificon last year with CBCS for a Jack Kirby verification. I don't know what book it is.
Oh, wow.
But CBCS, it took about not a year, but it's taken 8 months for CBCS to do their job and to signature verify it. And that's coming back. And Frank doesn't know the grade, but on our next live unboxing, he's going to have that book also. I don't know what book it was, but it's a Kirby Sig. And in the years that 3 Men in the Basement has been going, we have never had a Kirby signature live on our show. So shout out to Uncle Frank for donating this book.
Yeah.
And
Great guy.
what did you win?
Oh wait.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Good night. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I heard this is a hot book right now, guys.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice looking book.
Oh my God, that was the best raffle book.
That-
I will say that was probably the most tickets in any bag. I think maybe second could have been ZapCon tickets or East Coast Comic Con tickets.
Yes.
But that definitely had. You were doing the poll. I think that was probably the most weighted bag.
The
right?
blind box had a lot.
Oh, and
yeah.
the blind box.
Yeah.
We did a mystery box.
The
Mystery
mystery
box.
box. Yes, the mystery
The
boxes
mystery
that we
box
did.
had a lot of tickets.
Nice. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good. Good.
all in all, I mean, everybody who set up had fire.
Yeah.
I could have easily spent $1,000 without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Right.
kudos to everybody who brought and set up. Thank you so much. But
I mean, you had dollar books, you had sets,
yeah,
you had this,
great.
but you also had big books. We had a 9.2, whatchamacallit? We had a 9.2 X-Men 101 signed by Stan Lee. I think there was a Hulk 181 there.
Yeah, 6.5 sign.
6.5 signed.
First
So
Punisher,
first Punisher, yes, absolutely. A 9.2 definitely Gwen Stacy Stein. So not only did we have sets and books like this, but there were also big books that were there. So very awesome, dude. Good for you, man.
Yeah,
All right.
good stuff.
Now let's see what Nemesis Prime got. Oh, look at this
It's
stack.
like
Hey.
opening the stocking on
Somebody
Christmas.
was
Yeah.
really-
Somebody was real busy.
So let's go start here. So of course, Ink Jedi, one member of many on the Comic Book Fiend Club. He has his own Instagram page as well as a seller page. It's Ink Jedi Shop or Ink Jedi Sales. I can't remember, but follow him, find him. He's got a bunch of deals. So, he brought these books from me. I bought them off of the site. We have, of course, a book that I've been specking on, and Gary knows, a first appearance of a cheese, Green Lantern number 25, a very underrated book. Next up, and this is a really interesting book. This is Star Wars Tag and Bink.
I've never seen this book.
Tag and Bink, Episode 1, Revenge of the Clone. That is actually the first appearance of Darth Plagueis.
Really?
He's not shown, but it's the first mention of him.
Oh, interesting.
Very cool book.
Yeah.
What would CGC say?
I don't even know.
Yoda looks frustrated.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
These
that.
are some funny books.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what they'll
Next
say
up,
anymore.
this is Star Wars Tales 23, first full appearance of Darth Malik.
Yep.
Very great book to have. That is the variant cover.
I have a friend named Pete Malik.
Pete Malik.
Yeah, really.
Shout out Pete Malik.
And last from Ink Jedi was Detective Comics 850,
nice.
Ooh.
first appearance of the Gotham City Sirens, according to everybody.
Not according to
According to
CGC.
everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what CGC says, but that's from that. Next up, this was gifted to me by Matt Forge.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Matt Forge.
Shout out to Matt Forge. He gifted me the entire Kingdom
Kingdom
Come
Come Run. Oh my
Very
God.
nice.
What a great.
Look at that.
from DC Comics Elseworlds.
Beautiful.
Yeah, look
This
at
goes
that.
Crazy. Alex Ross Goodness.
Oh, that's a
Don't
great
be
story,
fans.
too.
There we go.
There you go. See, Dave, we knew you had use.
Yeah.
I'm Vanna White.
You are
really
definitely
should
the
put
fan
your-
of white.
You really should put your face behind the book.
And I'll buy this book
Sorry,
as cheap
buddy.
as possible. A Spider-Gwen 1 first printing.
Nice.
This was from Johnny 5. Check him out on Instagram. It's JONNIE.5. Just a cheap little book that I like. So I always buy anything Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, first print.
First print. Next up, this was from Eric, 1320 Comics. First appearance of Honey Badger in All New Wolverine number 2. Nice little book right here. That's always up and down.
I got one of those in my.
Yeah. Oh, now here comes the slabs.
Here comes some slabs.
Comes some slabs because not only was Nemesis Prime digging through ungraded books, but he was digging through slabs. He's always hustling.
Hustling
All
and
right.
bustling.
All
So,
Wait a
first-
second. Are they all 9/8?
oh, they actually
Of
are.
course they are. Of course.
They are. So first up is a Catwoman 12 signed by Art Germ. This is the variant cover. This is going to match my Catwoman Batman 42 because it's a cover swipe. This is actually shout out to Dave because Dave owed me money.
I paid some debts.
And that's how we got this deal to work.
Nice.
So this is awesome.
That's beautiful.
A 9.8
I freaking love
cover
that.
swipe.
Now the original cover swipe comes from what Batman comic?
Batman 42,
Batman
which is
42.
the first cover appearance of Catwoman, exactly like that.
Right. The Golden Age.
Golden Age,
Golden Age.
yeah.
Golden Age.
And I
Right.
have that in a 7.0, and I
Right.
need to reholder that and put those two bad boys together.
Seriously.
That's gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Next up is a book that I did a trade with AA Comics, Aaron. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. This is actually from Comics and Culture. I saw this on his preview video that he did on Instagram stories. Of course, it's a Spider-Gwen book. I love
I've
Spider-Gwen.
never seen this book.
Yeah,
I'm in awe about the things I
I
just
have.
don't know.
this was
You have?
Spider-Verse.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spider-Verse number 1, the 2015 series. This was a 1 in 25 variant done by Robbie Rodriguez in a 9.8.
Beautiful.
Dave, can you show the people?
I've never
this is
seen that
definitely worth it.
9.8, but
I'm like Everett. I've never seen this book before. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's just a really good book.
Robbie, who did it?
Robbie Rodriguez, who
Okay.
is the creator of Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen, right.
So,
Beautiful.
this will go somewhere up there with all the other
Yeah,
Spider-Gwen
the
stuff.
The shrine to Gwen.
And the last one, this
we didn't
one,
know the extent of your obsession.
it's crazy. And then this one was by AA Comics from Aaron. It was literally after 5 o'clock. We're literally done, and Aaron is still wheeling and dealing with other people.
Aaron was going hustling today.
He was
man.
literally, it was like 5:30 and he was still, selling stuff. So I was like, let me just go through his stuff one last time. I saw this book. I was ready to pay him. And he goes, well, let me just see what you got. So we ended up trading. So it was an even kill. Spider-Gwen number 7. This is the variant cover. It is a connecting cover with some other stuff. This is J. Scott Campbell's
I was going to say that.
9.8. Beautiful book. It is matching
really
with the Spider Silk. What else? Spider-Man Omega.
This is off the Spider Women Alpha series.
Yes.
I think it's like a
big
4-book
brains.
Uh,
Look at the
Yeah,
big
and
brains.
then-
There's three other connecting
He's
covers.
just raising the intelligence level, right? But it's
No,
by hanging out with us.
So those are all my
I wouldn't
pickups.
know if he was telling the truth or not. So. Could have made that up.
He could have said the beta women of Mars.
Yeah.
And we would have been like,
Really?
oh, really? It is the
Okay.
beta women of Mars? Yes.
Wow, you
That's
are
great,
smart.
Dave.
So those were all my pickups from
Nice.
selling and swapping. So
All right. You want to go?
Yeah, I'll
What do you
go.
got? Hold on a
Alright,
second.
I
though.
got a couple. What?
Hip hop spotlights?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yes, but hold on. The
Oh.
one, that black and white one, that's got to be Eric B. and Rakim, right?
Which one?
That one.
This one.
Yeah.
that's Run the Jewels.
That's
Yeah,
one of the jewels
one of the
right
jewels.
there. Well, you got to go with that one first. You got to show that.
Yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about
I
it.
was just gonna show the lot because I actually bought these from Ink Jedi on Instagram, and he knew he was coming to the swap. So probably about 2 weeks ago, Justin was. I think you're the one who said,
Yeah,
it, said
I
he had a
sent-
bunch of hip hop variants. Of course, everybody knows I got a pretty good size hip hop variant collection. So it's not very often that I find someone selling them.
More
ones
ones you don't
ones
have.
I don't have. Yeah,
100%,
you know?
dude.
That Run the
100%.
Jewels one is awesome.
Yeah. So and then I forgot this one.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And then these, neither. I got these from Gary. Also, very long time ago, probably 3
In
months.
the galaxy,
plus.
a long, long
To
time.
the point where he handed to me. He goes, "Are these the books that you bought?" He goes, "I hope so, because that's all that's left." And I'm like, "I don't know, dude. If you say so, I guess." I said, "Did I pay you?" He goes, "I don't know. I think you did." I'm like, "Okay." So he goes, "Let's just call it a wash." I was like, I really
You mean
wish
this
more.
guy?
I really wish more people were in on that interaction because neither one of us knew if I bought these, if they were the right ones, or if I paid for them. So,
You'll catch him again.
Like, it was good stuff. So, Gary, thanks. I think I paid you. I got this one from
This is
Aaron.
dope. This is great.
Yeah, that one's from
Yes.
Double A
yeah,
Comics.
That's
Double A
just-
Comics. Phenomenal.
No,
This
no,
is
no.
just,
Greg Horn.
Horn.
yeah,
Greg
it's
Horn.
absolutely beautiful. As soon as I saw it,
Yeah.
I love my,
I'm a fan of Peter Porker.
Yeah.
Fan of Felicia.
yeah.
Great. But another book I've never seen.
Hello?
Yeah.
Dave, have you seen that
Definitely
book
never
before?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
There-
I'm sure.
There was a set of those. It was. I think that's Black Cat #1.
Yeah.
There's another one where it's basically it's like horizontal, and I don't know. It's a gatefold cover. It's,
All right.
it's amazing.
I bought this
Hold on. Wait. Before you go any further,
All right.
this is how fast things move. It's a swap. Okay. So there's going to be some books that Roger's going to show, books that I looked at and said,
The next three in it.
the next three, yes, oh my God. And I said, oh, that'd be a good book. Let me see what else is around instead of just making a deal, right? So this was not a key book, but a fun book to have. And I wish I would have made a deal on it because the next three books are books that I looked at and said, I should have bought these books and somebody else bought them. So go ahead.
And this matches my figure at home. So I got the Thundercats #1. I got this
Nice.
from pretty sure it was Ink Jedi.
It was Ink Jedi. Ink
Yeah.
Jedi had it.
It's in his-
Now that's the first appearance of all the Thundercats, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lion-O,
So
everybody.
I have
Sword of Omens.
Lion-O and Snarf at home on my. on my,
awesome.
All right. I passed on this
you
book.
passed on this one.
I passed on this
and
book.
I really thank you for that.
And it's a 9-8
It
candidate.
is. Well, as long as someone else sends it in,
Hold on,
I
hold on,
also
hold on,
think.
hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Stop
Yeah.
touching it.
Yeah. Well,
I got
Mr.
this-
9-8 touched it.
And I
so.
got this from Barry Gary, and it was again towards the end, and it's beautiful, beautiful.
We all know this
We
book.
all know this book,
Mr. Hughes, amazing.
and it's one of those books that's always been on my radar, and it fell in my lap. And Gary, thank you very much. Great deal. Always willing to work with people, and then there's this one.
And I passed on this book too. I don't
I
own one
also
copy
passed
of this
it.
book. He
I don't-
owns 9
the
of them.
gentleman's name is
Joe Crochet.
Joe Crochet. Shout out
I
to
don't
Joe all the way
know
from
him. This is
PA.
not on Instagram, but I mean, who doesn't want an Nova #1, right?
Well, I do.
I could use
I
more.
did. Yeah, right.
Do you? I mean, it's going to be like it's like going to be the first Black
It's
Mass. So
another
I'm going to
Black
have to
Mass.
buy one and
Yes,
sell it to you
me.
for
Right,
you. to get it.
absolutely.
I'll tell you what. I'm surprised that book lasted as long.
I
as
really did. I agree
Everybody
with you.
looked at it.
Yeah,
Everybody.
everybody
I agree.
So when I got back, it was after the raffle and everything. I went, but I saw it on the table. I picked it up,
Boom.
and I'm like, "That's what you want for it?" He's like, "Nah, give me this." And I'm like, "Here you go."
Okay.
Throw your wallet at him.
to that extent, I come down from the upper level. I just got a cocktail. I came down. I looked at the table and I go,
Damn it.
I go, wait a minute. I'm like, then I moved a book or two, and he was talking so much, and I go,
Yeah, I heard you go. Someone bought that Nova,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah." Dave's like, "He just bought it." So
Newman.
don't sleep on it.
Don't
You
sleep
gotta
on
make
it.
the
Don't-
deal. If
you
you
got-
want something, you gotta make.
You got to jump on it. You got to jump on it. All right. So getting to my books, I already did talk about two of them. I traded 2 books for my this X-Men 104 9.0. Very happy to have that book.
Show it to the people.
Yeah, show it to the people. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. 9.0, great cover swipe of X-Men 1, done by Dave Cockrum. Just a fantastic book. Absolutely love it.
For a 9-0.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know.
Then I get
real quick. Thunderhouse Design says, Everett, you can't get one of the Baker's dozens out of Nemesis Prime.
No, I can't. I really can't.
I mean, they're here now, so they could actually see all the Nova ones.
Yeah,
I
right.
have in
Just
stock.
ogle over them, you know.
He
Yeah.
would never know if one was missing. He's got so many of them. Just as long as we take like a 9.0 or less.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't even know.
Roger could be over here and be like, Justin, that's a real nice statue. And I got Everett in the other room, like stealing my comics.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? No, we did go back to the vault. The vault, it's amazing what Nemesis Prime has here in the vault. So it's just unbelievable. So I finally did pick up the first Black Mask, #1 right here for a great deal, like I talked about.
Good stuff.
Great stuff. So as you guys know, I'm trying to complete some runs, and I'm trying to work on Daredevil 1 to 200. So shout out to Matt Forge, who brought a book, and this is a really, really beautiful book. And you guys know I'm a Dr. Doom fan. And Matt Forge actually gifted this to me. And
Nice.
X-Men 38. Just a nice looking book with Doom. Daredevil. And I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, I'm getting all excited, man. I'm talking
That's
about
nice.
this
No,
book.
it's like that's a
So
nice
it's a
looking
nice
book.
nice
That's
book
clean.
to have. And
It's a
Matt
really
was
nice
like,
book.
"Hey, man, here he goes. You guys do a lot for the community. I want you to have this. Thank you very much." So
Stuff.
shout out to Matt. This is definitely a beautiful book that's going to the PC. So thank you. Next book is another book that I've been buying, and I think Ink Jedi sold. He put it on IG, and I said I'll take it within 5 minutes, and it was $10. And all of a sudden, he watched one of my videos, and he DM'd me, or in the comments, he's like, "I think I should have charged Otto a little bit more for this, or undervalued it." So Captain America 193. Fun book to have because that is Jack Kirby coming back to the Marvel universe, and he's at Captain America Falcon. He was there for about 20 issues, and from what we understand, when we talk about the long-term spec list, that the Mad Bomb could be one of the storylines of the Winter Soldier. But just a great book, Kirby Romita cover, and just a great run to have. So not an expensive book by any means, but just a book that I've been buying up.
A book on the Lords of the Long Box specs.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. I did buy some slabs. So I'm going to
You weren't in the car right here.
You weren't in the car.
So
Okay,
everybody
yeah, this is a good one.
who's now watching this, and to Dave, so these guys, they go back to their hotel, and I say, I'll be your Uber back to my house.
Yeah.
So we're having the conversation of what books people are buying, and and there was a book that I wanted, and I was like, I saw it, and then later on I went back, and the people didn't have the book. And again, this is what goes back to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you see the book, just
Straight ahead.
either buy it for what they're asking for, or make a deal.
At least make an offer.
Yeah, or make an offer.
Right.
I didn't make an offer, and now I'm upset.
Right.
And I was like, and come to find out that this guy is the guy who bought the book.
Yes.
I thought he was kidding too.
No, yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
bought
yeah.
it, and you were so mad. I'm like, Everett, did you really? I thought you were joking.
No, 100% I bought it. And I was like, I looked at it. You guys know I'm a Star Wars fan. I have my display. I got my Darth Maul, and I'm a John Tyler Christopher fan. And I saw this book, and it's a yellow label, but it wasn't signed by John Tyler Christopher. It was a Darth Maul figure done by John Tyler Christopher, but signed by Ray Park at a 9.8, right? So when Justin was like, I should have bought that Darth Maul 9.8, I go, I bought that. He goes, and he's like, you did? I go, yeah, I did. He goes, you're effing with me. I go, no, dude, I swear to God, I bought it. So
interaction was hysterical.
yeah, it was unbelievable. So he knocked off actually $20 on it. So for $50, I have a 9.8 Darth Maul Star Wars #1, John
Wow.
Tyler Christopher signature
Sell
figure.
you for $100.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want on the
No,
book?
no,
What do you
I'm
want? What are you
keeping
asking?
I'm keeping his book. They're
And
great.
NFS?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
NFS. That's NFS.
Ah.
That's going on a display. So
We'll see how drunk I can get Everett tonight to sell it back to me for more.
He's
halfway there.
He's gonna
Not much.
forget it.
yeah,
He's gonna
So,
forget it at the house.
it was signed by Ray Park on 4/3/2017. Very action figure cover, just absolutely dope. Signed by Ray Park. So actually, I have fantastic to have this in my collection. So, what was really fun about today is shout out to Matt Forge, who on his way here got a CGC delivery,
Mhm.
and he brought it with him,
That was awesome.
and he didn't open up the books.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So if you go back to the other video, and I apologize for the audio, there was not much that I could do. We did a live unboxing with Matt Forge of some books that he had, and he had a Werewolf by Night 33 second appearance, which he thought would be somewhere around.
Because
like
he
an
channeled his
He said an
inner-
8.
He
Yeah.
channels Inner 3 Men and did not find out the grade.
Correct. Thank you very much.
He
Thank
did
you very
not
much.
find out the
That's
grade.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So he brought it. Sure enough, he opens it up, and what was it?
A 9.2.
9.2. Hot book right now, you guys. Hot book. So he opened up a couple other books. He opened up 2 Marvel Spotlights 28s, which is Moon Knight in his individual series. And one I think he took a hit on, and this
Yeah.
book came back a 7. Now, for you guys that know, well, you should know this by that part. I'm a very linear collector, right? I like things all to be linear across the board, right? Whether it's OCD or whatever. So my Werewolf by Night 32 is a 7.0. All of a sudden, Matt opens up this book at a 7.0.
Yeah.
Okay. So he shows that book. I start bugging out. I'm like,
And he was disappointed.
He was
He
disappointed, right.
was channeling his Teen Titans
That-
12. He
Right,
was-
right, right.
This that came out of the box, and
Yeah.
Everett says, "Well, I have a 32. That's a 7.0."
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm going, "There's no way Matt Forge is leaving."
yes,
here with
right,
that
right,
box."
100%.
There's
So
no
I'm sitting there, I'm
way.
like this. I'm like, ooh, that was nice. I like that book. I like it. Start scratching myself.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. So anyway, so come to find out that at the end of the day, Matt gave me a great price on this book, a beyond great price. And you know, if it was a 7.0, it was very linear on the price. And now I've got Werewolf by Night 32 7.0. I've got this book at a 7.0. Maybe I'll get the Mark Spector book at a 7.0, even though that's a modern book. But yeah, man. So those are the books that I picked up. And that's it, man. It was a really, really great day as far as collecting and trading and stuff like that. So let's just go around and talk a little bit more, man. We've got a lot of people. We got like 25 people in the live chat. So Manimal says, so who's drunk and who is sober? Yeah, you know, it's a little bit, everybody's on the fence right now. You know what I mean?
We've been drinking and comicking since noon.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we got to the plate. We got to Frenchie's at what, like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
The bartender, she showed up at 11:15.
we were there before the bartender.
Yeah, we were there before the bartender to
We were
open
there
up. We
before
were
the
going to open
bartender.
up. I mean, it was like what, 11:45. We started setting up. She comes downstairs and she goes, "Do you guys need anything? Do you guys need a drink?" And we're
Yeah.
like, "It's not even noon."
Yes,
and we're
but-
like, "All
okay,
right,
let's go." You know. So yeah, so we did that, and then just a great flow and everything, and just an awesome day. So if you guys have any questions in the live chat, throw it out to us.
We have a book to give away. Like,
we do have.
Well, I mean,
a-
shout out to Matt Forge. That was he said it in the chat. That was his first time on YouTube. So he popped his cherry on YouTube on 3 Men in the Basement.
Yeah,
So
got
the
it.
CGC unboxing.
all
Yeah,
down
well
up.
done.
Right.
It was really
Dude, he went full board on it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
only did he go on YouTube, he did a live unboxing.
Yeah.
Talked about the grades that he wanted and talked about what he expected and a little bit of the history about it. Manny NYC came on. He was pumping up CBCS as much as he could. We had Juan on Ink Jedi. We had Joker M21. We had Barry Gary. So anybody that was willing to talk came on, which I thought was really, really fun. So just good comic talk, man. You know
Yeah,
what I
it was
mean?
awesome.
Just good stuff. Coming up, what do we have coming up, guys? We got a lot of stuff coming
Yeah,
up. don't we?
I mean, other than our normal like random videos that we post, we have live. We got some live shows in March. I will be at New Jersey Comic Expo in March. So if I can get any video and stuff there.
Yep.
ZapCon is in the end of March. So of course I'm going to try to do some interviews there.
They're
You
coming
have a
up.
show.
Yep. We have, I'm going to Incredicon. Hopefully, Joe Sinnott will still be there. That's a show that I want to go to. Trying to get up there. We are all trying to get to East Coast, right? That's something that we want to get to. We want to all try to get to East Coast.
Yep.
We have Terrificon coming up, which I can't wait for. But before Terrificon, we're trying to get up to Plastic City Con. Plastic City Comic Con is run by Keith Gleason. Just so you guys know, Keith Gleason was on our show about a month and a half behind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they just announced that Roy Thomas will be there. And
Wow.
yeah, and he's the special guest honor. So for those of you guys that don't know, Roy Thomas does not do Terrificon anymore. So his shows up here in this area are very, very limited because he does live down south. So Plastic City Con is something that you guys want to look for if you're interested in getting a Roy signature. Now, we have met Roy. We've been very, very fortunate, and I know Roger has a great story about this, to meet Roy a few times. And let's talk about the time you met Roy in the hotel lobby, right?
Yeah,
you wanna talk about that?
because he doesn't they don't do a lot of take pictures unless you're giving me money, kind of.
Yeah.
And the first con I ever went to, I had a book signed. So the first signature I ever got, actually had at my own collection, was Roy Thomas.
Right.
I had a
Spit it out.
Tomb of Dracula, #1.
Yep.
Signed by Roy Thomas and then Neil Adams.
Neil Adams, yes.
Double sign at Rhode
Nice.
Island Comic Con. So because of that and the conversation I had when I was like, this is a really cool dude. I don't know if I would have known what he looked like before then,
Right.
that kind of thing. And then fast forward to Terrificon, and we're in the lobby. I'm waiting for these guys to come up from the hotel room. Here come just walk right by me. Roy, can I take a picture? Yeah, sure. He's come on over it.
Right.
You can see at that point is what's his face is
John
kind of
Savino,
John's getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
All right, you can't just take pictures with this guy. Well,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
So-
I think, and he's got a great idea. I think I'm going to have that printed out, an 8x10. Have him sign it when we're at Plastic City.
Absolutely. I
Comic.
think it's a great
That'd be
idea,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
So I know you guys know that we're all fans of Terrificon, but one of the things that Roger just talked about, which is important about Terrificon, is Terrificon not only is where the venue is, but it's also the hotel. So the stars, the artists, are all walking around,
Yeah.
right?
It's a
They're all
casino.
walking around.
Hotel, venue, everything's in one
It's
building.
all they're not going across the street, so you don't see them, or not going over there. They're all in there, and I can't tell you how many times.
You'd be at a blackjack table and you look over and there's an artist.
Yeah,
sitting there.
absolutely. I'm walking down the hallway one time, and there comes Henry Winkler, the Fonz, walking right by me. I go, the Fonz, as I live and breathe.
We were eating pizza in the lobby of the hotel room, and,
Yeah.
and the guy from Now You Can't Leave. What's
Oh my God!
from Once Upon a Time or
No,
the Bronx
The Bronx
Tale.
Tale.
Oh,
My
Where
God!
after he locks the door and
Yes.
he looks around, he's like, "Now you can't leave." He was there, and he comes walking by, and it's a great story. Everett's wife is a huge fan.
Huge fan of the Bronx Tale. What is his
She-
name?
She literally froze up when he walked by. He was on the
Yeah.
same floor as us in the
Yeah,
hotel, and she walked by. She's like, "I love you. Now you've got to leave." And he stopped, and
Yeah.
he goes, "Now you can't leave."
yeah. That was my
And
wife's
he-
one chance
I'm like,
to get it
You're
right.
like, "That's your one chance, and you screwed up the line."
Right.
One friend of the show, Tom King.
A good friend of the show, Tom King, right?
Show Tom King.
So as you guys know,
Yeah.
Tom King showed up, and
Chaz Palminteri.
Chaz Palminteri, 100%.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Chaz Palminteri comes up to us and everything.
Thank you,
Exactly the
Thunder.
same as he did
Yes.
when he was in the movie.
He really does. Guy's ageless. So as you guys know, Tom King comes off the elevator. Very Harry and Justin go, "Oh, look, Tom King." Tom King sits down, very animated. Me, not as educated as these guys are, goes, "Tom, tell me who your favorite artist is." He goes, "Artist?"
Well, I mean, to your defense, you kind of got baited into that.
I definitely did. So that is another reason why I hang out with people that are smarter than me, because things like that, things like you don't know what you don't know. Or how about we just get there? We just get there. These two dudes walk by me, and one dude kind of looks like a rock star, so I figure he's somebody. So we're checking in, and Justin goes, "That's Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman." I go, "Those two guys right over there?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, come on, let's go." So I went up to Stegman and I go, "Dude, you ever heard of Cosmic Ghost Rider?" And you could see him like, "Oh, now I got to talk to this guy." So anyway, we talked to Cates for a little bit. We talked to Stegman. Stegman was very cool. Actually, they were both very, very cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just how I'm saying how at Terrificon, I'm sorry we got on this tangent, but how everything is kind of always around you all the time. You know what I mean? So
it's different. I mean, anybody who's in the live chat who's been to a convention, whether it's wherever you guys are, New York Comic Con, if you go to San Diego, you go to WonderCon, any of these shows. I mean, you're in the convention, and then the next thing you do is you leave the convention, and then it's really just wherever you go is like there's food, there's your hotel. But here it's like you don't ever really leave
No.
Terrificon. I mean,
You
you're never
can't
leaving.
leave.
You don't walk
Complex.
outside Mohegan Sun
Yeah.
unless you want to go have a smoke. That's the only time really you see light, or if you want to go to the pool. But other than that, I mean, you're inside. You know,
Right.
whether you're going to one of the one of the restaurants, you want to go to the comedy show, you want to go see some sporting event.
Yep.
That's all it is.
You know, I heard Santana is actually going to be there that Friday night.
That Friday
Oh,
night.
So,
Really?
so Santana's
Yeah,
going to be there
wow.
that
That's
Friday
cool.
night. Wouldn't be surprised if he did a second show for Saturday night. So there's a lot of things
Sells
going on
out.
in there, you know. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Manimal said he might be coming up, so hopefully he can come up for that, you know. And so we got on a Terrificon. This is one of our things that we talk about. So right now, C2E2 is going on. So shout out to all our friends there. Shout out to Rocket Comics, who has got a plethora of our books, who's done absolutely big time. Who has done a great job with our books. We're going to find out. So Rocket Comics is working very hard to get all the signature series stuff. Shout out to Reese's Rare Comics, who is there.
Mhm.
J&S Collectibles is there.
E-Rod's there.
Erod is there. We've got Man from Beantown there.
Yeah, man. A lot of people. A lot of the comic fiend clubs out there. Some of my people, Jeff Mazza from Metropolis Comics is out there. Jam Comics is out there.
Oh, Jan Comics is out there too.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys out there. You know, if you're dealing with that Chicago weather, man, right now, it must be cold and
Oh,
Chi-Town.
that's it, man. It's cold. So what I thought was really neat was when we were planning this, we'd like to do it, you know, after Valentine's Day, before kind of March Madness, and it just happened to fall on C2E2. But one of the big aspects of the swap today was, well, you know what? If you can't go to C2E2, come to our swap,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? If you need to get your comic fill and
Close
stuff like that.
second,
Yeah, you know, it's close second, but it is what it is. So, these books are on site being graded. I've got some big books. Justin, what books do you have there?
I got 4 Silver Age Batman books. A Batman 121, first appearance of Mr. Freeze, first Silver Age appearance of Scarecrow, first Silver Age appearance of Joker, which is Batman 251, the Neil Adams cover,
Really?
and Batman 227, which is the Neil Adams cover, which is a cover swipe of a very old Detective Comics. I think it's somewhere in the 30s or 40s. So, you know, once we get those back, you and I will, when the next live show, we'll go
You
unboxing.
sent those in through Rocket?
Yeah, I sent them to Rocket Comics. They were CGC'd already. I have the picture. So once the books come back, we'll show you what they were. They cracked them, they pressed them, and they did on-site grading this weekend in C2E2 in Chicago. So I should have them back probably like late next week.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
our next live show, which will be in a week or two, you know, we'll do an unboxing then, because I'm not going to look at the grades.
Nope.
I'm not going to tell them.
We
not
told
to,
Scott, don't tell us.
Yeah, don't tell us. We're just going to go right from there. So
Right.
That's awesome.
So if you guys give me 30 seconds, I've got some books there.
you got a lot of books.
I got a lot of
there.
books. I got a lot of books, and I can't find it. So okay. So the books that I have right now with Rocket Comics that I sent in were Spider-Man 101. I forgot about that. First Morbius.
Nice.
That was actually a Zap Comics purchase. You know, I've had that book. I've been sitting on that
I've
book.
heard of
for-
that place.
You've heard of Zap Comics?
Yes.
Hopefully we go there tomorrow. But
Shout out to Zap Comics.
Yeah.
they donated.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah, they donated.
They did
4
really.
Tickets,
Yeah.
4 tickets to their ZapCon, which is March 28th, Saturday.
Tyler Kirkham and
Dan Slott,
will be
as
there.
well as some other people that I'm hoping to check out. Shout out to Eastside Mags in Montclair, New Jersey. They donated a Spider-Gwen Marvel Gallery, a gift card for their shop, as well as East Coast Comic Con tickets. So again, shout out to those 2 comic shops for donating. So check them out, as well as everybody else who donated stuff. I actually think we still got a donation, don't we?
Yeah, we gotta.
Speaking of
Giveaway.
donation,
Yeah, we have a
I tried to
giveaway.
do that about a half hour ago. He went on some tangent. I'm like,
well, now that we're talking about donations, so
Yeah.
you got the book. How do you want to do this?
I don't know.
We could
you
do
wanna
everybody
it
in the live chat.
You want? Yeah, I'm saying you want to do it in a raffle style or ask a trivia question.
I can do a write down a number and the closest 2.
There you go. Very
We could
simple.
do that, or we could do a question. We could definitely do a question.
We should definitely do a question.
I probably should have had this out and ready to go.
I know. Well, it's fine.
Can I see this real quick?
No, you got hold on. This was donated by our man there, a newest member of 3 Men in the Basement. It's a Wonder Woman. I don't know if I can.
9.4.
Wonder Woman number 38.
Double signed by.
Double signed by David Finch and Meredith Finch. Are they related?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, really. The irony if they weren't,
That's
you know.
I think that's a 1 in 10 retailer and stuff
Like it.
like
It's like a sketch
That is
almost.
sick.
Not.
That is
Like a-
absolutely sick.
Not sketch.
Right on the sword.
All right,
Right on the
so
sword.
yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I got a question, but just continue to talk so I can look
Okay.
it up.
All right.
So Dave, this is something you bought, or did you have that slab?
Well, no, I had the book. I sent it off. Oh my God, 3-4 years ago, maybe. I don't even remember who I sent it off to. They facilitated it for me. Sent it to CBCS, and a couple months later, it showed up on my doorstep. So
before 9.8 Dave showed up.
this is
Yeah,
before
really.
9.8.
Dope. This is dope. So we're gonna give this book away right now.
Yeah, we're gonna give it away to the people in the
All right.
live chat.
Okay.
So the question is, who is the actress who is playing Cheetah in Wonder Woman 2?
Very relevant.
Nice
Very
one.
relevant.
I can't answer my
Thinking
own
that
question.
Who is the actress who's playing Cheetah in the next Wonder Woman
That
movie?
force says the answer is linear.
Yeah.
Well, that was before. We're a little bit on a delay, but
All right.
let's see who gets it. And we will be shipping this book out
I
to you.
have Thunderhouse Designs
Yep.
and Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
Kristen Wiig, Thunderhouse
Kristen
Design
Wiig.
wins.
Yes. Thunderhouse Design.
What has
You are-
Kristen Wiig been in before?
She's from
Saturday
SNL.
Night.
Oh, has she really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
All
So
right.
congratulations,
Congratulations,
Thunderhouse
man.
Design. You are getting a 9.4 Wonder
it.
Woman 38 signed
You are
by
being-
David Finch and Meredith
Yeah,
Finch.
You are being rewarded for a test.
Yes, hit one of us up on Instagram or message us, and we will get your shipping information, and we will ship this book out to you probably faster from the New Jersey guys if we get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the Connecticut
Yeah,
people.
I was
really
just going to
slow.
suggest you. I mean, you're definitely more responsible than we are.
That's awesome. All right. So before we did that, I just want to go back and tell you the books that I have with Rocket. So I started off by saying that I had an ASM 101, First Morbius. I bought it at a 7. I think once Rocket does their magic on it,
Raw?
it was raw. Yeah. And I'm thinking maybe like a 7.5, 8.0. The reason I sat on it for so long was I just really didn't want to. I wasn't in a hurry for it. You know what I mean? I bought it. I had it. It was a good book. Next book I have is a ASM 50
Nice.
that I bought
that's
from another
awesome.
spot. Yeah, I sold my other one. I'm thinking this book is a solid 5, maybe 5.5.
That book's
We'll see.
tough.
That is a tough book,
All
right?
red.
Yeah, all red. We'll have to see what happens. Iconic cover. Next book I have is a Batman 121. You know, so Justin and I both have the same book. So he's got a 3.5. I have a 3.5. I'm over for a 0.5 point bump in there.
Which one? Why am I drawing a blank?
Mr. Freeze.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze. And those books were in the CGC, not old label, but the CGC thin case. Okay, so that
one
was
previous to
the one previous. So that's why I said the 121 in. The Morbius and the ASM 50 were both raw.
You had them crack it, press it, resubmit it?
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
you were just getting it reslabbed?
No. Oh, the whole works.
Okay.
Cracked,
He
clean.
went through the whole
the whole rigmarole for that book.
That's
Okay.
what I'm doing.
My Daredevil #1 was a 5.5.
Wow.
Again, that was the case, the thin case, new label, thin case. And that's being pressed. Again, I'm hoping for a 0.5 point, maybe.
Yeah.
Omega Men #4 was a raw dog. Now I've owned 5 or 6 copies of this. This has to come back at 9.8. I can't believe this would not come back at 9.8.
Amen.
Yes, and there's some other books that I really can't remember, but we're gonna have to find
Hey,
out. Thank
we,
God
all-
they're
hey,
so
we
honest.
had pricey invoices at the end of the
Yes,
day. Right?
exactly.
You know, you especially these older books. I mean, these older books. I mean, Gary will tell you. Anybody who tells you anything under 1975, if you send it into CGC, you are waiting months upon
Months.
months to get these books back. I would rather pay the extra $15, $20, and I will get it back in a weekend.
Yeah,
Like-
we were talking about it.
Yes, let's talk about outside
2-3
grading.
2-3 days ago, I was looking to do some older Spidey books just to get a CGC invoice in, and I'm going through the process, and I click, the relevant buttons, and it was 75 days,
Yeah, right.
and I was like,
And that's business
"Whoa."
days.
That's business
Yeah,
days, right.
Yeah.
So minimum 4 months.
But they don't press on site, do they?
No.
No,
So if I were to have a book cracked and pressed, they would do all that and then do the on-site grading.
correct.
No, then they're going
Right.
to send it back. No, you would have to crack it before. Like we've had
No,
this.
I'm talking about if I did it through Rocket.
Oh no, yeah, they'll
Send
do
them
it
the book,
before,
they'll crack it, press
Yes.
it, and everything, and then
Yep.
submit it on site if they have the on site.
which was they did with our books for
Yeah.
Minato. Yeah.
Right. So that's what happened. But
because that's all right. Well, you really can't talk about the experience because you haven't gotten it back yet.
right. Well, I did the on-site grading the last time when Justin had the books, and well, I've done them 3 times. One I hit a home run with Very Gary. The last time, not so good. So this time we'll see what happens. But more importantly, I sent in that last batch that I unboxed, those Silver Age books. Those were from Baltimore. So Baltimore was what? October, November, December, January, February. 5 months, man, of those books. Now I do equate a little bit of that to the Todd McFarlane signing and stuff like that. Hijacking of CGC, right? But it is what it is. I looked at Justin, I go, I'm not gonna get these books back till Christmas. Turns out Valentine's Day. Okay, that's it. So those books, including the books that Uncle Frank has there, we will all have the unboxing for. So, once Rocket Comics gets back to sunny California, he's going to send them to us, and then we'll see what happens. And I am definitely a fan of on-site grading. This time I got a little bit of overzealous as far as what I submitted, but
I mean, that was it. You did it right. You didn't send moderns. You don't send you send modern books if you're going to flip them.
Correct.
It's easy.
Right.
Like and I've said this to you guys in text messages. I will guarantee you by tomorrow night, Monday, you will see Batman 89 and Hell Arisen 3s CGC'd up on eBay all over the place. Without a doubt. Go on eBay tomorrow, go on eBay now, and I guarantee there's actual physical pictures of the book that's on eBay because that's what people did. They dropped off the books on Friday. They got them back. They are all over eBay. I haven't checked, but I'm sure. Right. I mean, I've seen some people that sent in 89s and did, fast track just to get it back. But there's going to be tons of Hell Arisen number 3s on eBay this week. So we're going to see what that price is going to be.
So what are you saying the turnaround is on a modern book?
Normally, it's about 30 days.
It's 30 days right now.
From when they receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Fast track's about 10 business days is what I just did in January. But, I mean, the fact that these people are just dropping it off on Friday, picking it up on a Sunday, even Saturday. I mean, you can pick it up on a Saturday.
Right, absolutely. You can pick it up on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to find out what that comes back at, stuff like that. So we'll have to see where it is.
It'll be interesting to see what the label says too.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. As far as first appearance, stuff like that,
cameo,
whatever, or the discrepancy between the 9.8 and the 9.6, right? That might be something that people look at. I mean,
speaking of discrepancies,
we have a big discrepancy.
I do, and I think that.
Hold on, shout out to Roll Molnar all the way in Australia because this is for you, buddy. We've been talking about this, and here he goes.
So we're finally going to pull the trigger. We're going to do a video. I think Justin had the best way to do it because I don't want to screw the book up. You want to videotape us putting that Teen Titans 12 in a package, sealing it up with the address to Rocket Comics. I'm going to have them crack it, press it, and submit it for me. And if that book comes back at 9.8, I'm calling shenanigans on CGC.
Right.
I'm reaching out to whoever will listen to tell me that 20 books went in and a modern black page book came back off-white 8.5.
8.5.
It's just ridiculous.
Right.
So,
but what we do think is that label got flip-flopped with a Miss Marvel, so we're not going to talk about that because that book was sold to somebody else.
Yeah.
And we don't want to go there, so you got to go back deep into our videos to find out about that. But yeah, so
all right. So shout out to Manimal who's watching the show right now. Just sent me a picture. Up on eBay is A Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen number 3, first full appearance of Punchline, signed by James Tinian IV in a 9.8. It has hold on.
Can we guess on the price?
Well, no, it's an auction.
Okay, it's an auction.
It's an auction, so it's. Right now, it's at $51. It ends in 3 days. So we're gonna see, what this ends up. So
we're gonna have to watch that.
So it's a 9.8. And the date on it was today or yesterday.
Well, I mean,
I bet it goes for $500.
Yeah, it's signed. It's signed
right around there.
9.8, and it's signed today. Or, this weekend.
Right.
9.8, signed by Tinian, and I showed you guys this earlier. It CGC label shows that it's the first full appearance of Punchline. So right now, this is pretty much the book to get. But again, they're already up on eBay. So we're going to see what happens come this week. I mean, how many are blasted on eBay? Just as much as, all those Spawn Todd McFarlane books.
3 months from now, I'm going to buy that for $5.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Red Goblin.
But hold on a second. So we do have a question in a live chat, but I do want to go over.
Thunderhouse Design. Thank you a lot for.
There we go. All right.
What's that called again?
$10 super chat. There we go. Thank you very much. We like that. Cheers for the super chat.
We like that.
We like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I think that book will go for $500. Dave?
Whoa. I would probably say
that one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It could be
450.
Yeah, 450.
The signature puts it over the top.
Yeah.
I say 350.
Okay.
I say 350.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm terrible with that. Because
Not
I
only
can't
you
imagine
get-
somebody paying that for that.
Well, people are caught in a fever, man. You
Well-
get caught.
Well, not only are you getting the fever pitch of it, you're getting the FOMO too. So
Yeah,
like,
right.
People are like,
My God, it's
shaking,
signed.
like,
It's a
oh my God,
9A.
I'm
It's
gonna
a
miss
yellow
it, I'm gonna
label.
Yeah,
miss
but
Right.
if you didn't buy it raw, you already missed out. So
oh no, yeah, I
Right,
agree.
right.
too
I
late.
agree.
Why
Right.
over? You know, would you say how much?
I think 500.
Oh my God!
I think 500.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, we'll
I mean,
find
I'm
out
not
in
buying
3
it, but
days,
I'm
guys.
saying-
Put it
This
this
isn't-
way, and we
this
all
is not
we
the
all
first
saw-
Hold
It's
on,
a
hold on.
Batman.
Hold on. Can somebody remember that for the next show?
500.
Can somebody
I'll
remember?
remember
Hey, we're good.
We're good.
We'll
We'll
watch it.
remember.
We're
Somebody.
But it's
That's
going to
like
end in
that-
3 days, so we don't know where it's going.
now.
Right.
Well, that's like
Even
that-
with the FOMO, if you pay more than $75, you're an idiot.
Well, that's like that dumb that paid $700 for the
Yeah.
89.
Yes,
Come on,
exactly.
man, like-
Oh, the error variant.
The
Yeah.
era variant. So we do have a
Still
question.
dumb.
We have a question from Mr. Wobbles. He says, "I've got a trade offer for my 4.0 ASM 50. I got it for free, and somebody offered me a 2.5 first Barbara Gordon Batgirl. Should I do it? Batgirl is one of my favorite. Is one of my top 5 favorite characters.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Without a doubt. I mean, if
That's-
you're if you have
not,
no,
fi-
go
if you're not, I was gonna say, if you're not emotionally invested in First Kingpin, if you got it for free, and Batgirl is one of your favorite characters, that is an iconic cover. It's the one I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
right? Barbara Gordon,
Detective, it's 359.
359.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would do it in a heartbeat. I absolutely do it in a heartbeat because now you have it at a 2.5, and if it is one of your favorite characters and you want to upgrade, now you have equity in that book. You go to a show, somebody has it for a 5, you got a couple bucks in your pocket.
Yeah,
Hey, I got
especially
this
if you have
2.5. Let's move up.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
move up.
So
Let's
if
move
you're
up.
it's
not
definitely-
financially invested in the other book.
Yeah, if you're not invested at all, I mean, and Gary just said it. As long as it presents well. I mean, I have books that are 2.0s, 2.5s, but you know what? It presents well enough where I wouldn't want to upgrade it. I don't need to with their older books.
Mhm.
I mean, my first Batgirl is a lot higher. Would I ever want to upgrade it? Maybe, but you know what? If it's your favorite character and you like the book, over time you can upgrade it.
Right.
You know, that's what we do. That is exactly what we do.
That's another good topic to talk about.
Speaking of upgrading, so I mean, this is a Tana 6.0 first appearance. I've upgraded that twice to get it to a 6.0. I am looking to upgrade that to even higher. I mean, I want to go as far as
Great
possible
book.
on a first Tana. She's my favorite with the statue.
Yeah, that's a
So
great statue.
I mean, I want to get at least about an 8 or an 8.5 on this book without a doubt. So this book is available for sale, and I'm up for offers, and then I'll sell it,
See what happens.
and put cash out there for maybe a 7.0.
yeah.
I mean,
All about stepping up.
I didn't talk about this on Wednesday on Lords of the Long Box, but Chad Crow, who is he's always in the live chat. I was actually watching a 7.0 Hawkman 4, and it literally came down to the last 10 seconds, and he messaged me on Facebook, and the message popped up as I was on Instagram, and I tapped on it, and instead of tapping bid, I tapped on his message because it went over in front. So I lost the auction because of a message.
Oh no!
So Chad Crow, that is your story.
yeah.
You are beat. I was going to talk about this on Wednesday,
Wow.
but that's what happened. And now I got to turn off notifications because I'm really upset. I was ready to go, and I would have won because the book went for less than what I was going to bid
I
for.
freaking love it.
But
That's brutal. That's like a bad beat on the poker tables. Oh my god.
yeah, so I mean that's definitely upgrading books is a fun thing.
Yeah.
I talked about it in my 2020 wish or 2019 pickups to my 2020 want list. I want to upgrade a lot of books. I upgraded already a lot of books this year. My Saga 1 went from a 9.6 to a 9.8. First Nightwing went from a 9.6 to a 9.8.
This is my upgrade. I got a 9.4. So if you're looking for a 9.4 First Carnage, boy, do I got one for you.
I do want to talk about that real quick because that's something that Justin talked about as far as one of his goals for 2020 is upgrading your books. And I'm a huge fan of that. You know what I mean? I'm a huge fan of taking stuff, going to shows, using the lower grade book as equity. And I honestly believe that with some books at certain price points, you are able to move books quicker because they sell faster, right?
Mm.
So, a good example is like a Punisher, like a 129, a 9.2. If I go to somebody with a 7.0 and I'm like, hey, you know what? I got this 7.0. I'm looking to move it. I think the guy would be more resilient to be like, all right, you know what? This 9.2 is selling for $2,000, maybe $2,500. This 7.0, it's an $800 book. we can make a deal in between, and boom, I've now upgraded my book as long as you have the cash available. So
Right.
I definitely am a huge fan of upgrading books, and that's something that I've not learned, but it's just something that maybe I have learned, something I've learned through the comic book world and moving on, stuff like that. So upgrading, I'm a big fan of, right?
Yeah.
That's one of your goals.
I mean, I never used to bring books to shows, and Baltimore was the first one. I mean, I went to a lot of dealers with my Saga 196, and I talked to a lot of dealers that had 9.8s. I said, what type of trade and cash can we do? I didn't make the purchase, I didn't make the deal there, but I mean, that's kind of things that I want to do. I mean, in the case, I have a 9.2 first Deathstroke. It's actually ungraded, old label. I could crack it out, press it, see what it comes back, or I could just sell it and buy, a higher grade, whether it's a 9.6, 9.8,
And I've done that with all my FF books, my 48, 49, and 50. I started off at a 3.5 for a 48, 48, 49, 50. So my 50 was like a high grade, a 7.5. My was my 50 was like a 3.0, and my 49 my 48 was a 3.5. So I took those, and now it took me a year to do it, but I have all those at a 5.5.
Yeah.
So I took a step back with my 50, but my 48 and 49 have gone up though. I've done that with my Hulk 181, or my Hulk 180. I started off with a 7.0. You found the 9.2 for me.
Oh yeah.
Made a trade. So now my 181 and my 180 are both linear, and it's just the way you want to do it. So definitely have equity in it, right? And you're good at that too, right? You go to shows quite often.
Yeah. Any chance you get, especially if it's a good deal, and if they're willing to take, I mean, when I got lucky, I sold you that because I won a 9.8, but I mean, if you go to a show and sell that with some cash to get an upgrade, well, it's a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're at a show where they want to get rid of books. Like,
so what is the best day to do that, Justin?
Oh, Sunday.
Sunday.
And I
Sunday.
gotta tell you, Terrificon, even on Saturday, people are there to sell books. It really is a collectors, buyers show.
Right.
When I went to Rhode Island, like guys would have things double what the price should be. Will you take this? No, I'll take what the sticker says.
Right.
And they just didn't want to make deals. So you go to Terrificon, I don't think I've ever gone up to a dealer and said, well, we take this one, I'll take it. And it didn't work with you.
Correct.
It was never, it's what it is on the sticker. They go there because they want to sell books.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a museum.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Or my point, my opinion is if they're not even willing to work with you, they're not willing to sell nothing. You know what I mean? They're just going there to show their books off.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? They're trying to jack it up 20%, and then they're just going to sit on it, and they're not willing it. And it's the guys, like J&S Collectibles or other guys that will actually take
Gary's
stuff.
a good one.
Gary's a good one.
Reese's
will do it too. Absolutely. So things like that. So those are all tricks, and that we talk about when we go to Comic Cons and stuff like that. So what do you guys think about upgrading?
So
go ahead, Justin. You feel this one.
Thunderhouse Design says, what do you guys think about upgrading with mid-grade slab books for raw high grades? More rush, but is it worth more risk? But is it worth the gamble?
Depends on the book, right?
Yeah, it definitely depends on, because not only that, because it's really your interpretation or their interpretation of a high grade.
Higher grade.
I mean, you could say it's near mint, or they could say it's near mint, but at the end of the day, if you get it back, if you graded it eventually and it comes back mid grade, or God forbid resto, or
resto.
I mean, you never know.
That's huge. That is huge.
The guy grading has stubbed his toe before he looked at it,
Yeah, he's pissed off, or if he sees the name Roger Levesque and he just hates the world, and it's 4:45 on a Friday. So I would stay away from that. Yeah. But more importantly, I want to touch on the resto thing. If you trade a slab for a raw and it comes back resto, you've actually taken almost a 2.5 times.
You're
hit,
taking
a beating. What I mean? You're taking a beating. You know what I mean? And then you got to either decide, am I going to go for the resto removal, and then you're going to even get it lowered, or whatever. So I would definitely not say to do that. Again, I'm not a professional by any means, but that's just my opinion. And I think that's the 3 Men in the Basement's opinion right there. Like, stay away.
Unless
the disparity is like, you could see that, what's, you're getting rid of a 5.5 and you're looking at the other book and there's no spine ticks or nothing like that.
It's like
that's different. But
I think that's the caveat of it too, where, you having a book slabbed, you can't flip through it for obvious reasons.
Right.
But, with kind of going through, you can actually look at the book,
correct,
take your time, and then make a decision. So
right. I mean, it's tough, man. That is definitely a tough call. My boy Unimatrix Mono always says the grade is the grade, whether it's a 7.0 white pages or 7.0 cream off white. It's still a 7.0, so you still have that there when you're when you're looking at a raw book, and you know what? That's a 5.5. Roger, you're out of your mind. That's a 4. Justin will be like, dude, I think that's a 7. Now we have between a 4 to a 7 in that range. We have a lot of $100 discrepancy, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that I'm not willing to gamble, especially when we're buying big books.
Right.
And
unless, like I said, unless the disparity is a lot larger.
yeah, right.
You have a slab 4.5, and you're looking at a book that nobody's going to call less than a 7.5. That's But and like you said, it depends on the book.
Yeah, it depends on the book.
If a book is worth that, a lot of money, is it worth taking the shot?
I mean, well,
have one come back restoed.
If that's the case, then why not just buy the book and submit it off, and if it comes back higher, then you just sell the lower grade.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to give it.
I mean, I get it. It's a lot to lay out initially.
Yeah,
Sure.
and it's a lot of time too. But
correct.
If you want to be sure, that's the one way.
Right.
Yeah,
So I just want to give a few shout outs to everybody. We've got Mike W. Rogers in the house. Thank you for hanging out with us. Barry Gary is still here. Matt Forge is here. Thunder House Design. We got Ephraim Feliciano. That's Uncle Frank. Thank you very much. Especially this guy saying thank you very much
Thank you
for your donation. Lou Espinoza, Barry Gary. King of Golden State just jumped on.
Hey.
All right, there we go. Johnny Dakota's here.
What's it, like 9 a.m. there?
Yeah, really. My God. So there is something I do want to talk about one more time. One more thing we want to talk about. Gary actually off the cuff looked at me and he goes, Everett, have you ever submitted a book without getting it pressed? And I can honestly say no, never. Because I think when I first got back into this game, I started hearing about pressing and the submitting and stuff like that. So, just my opinion, if you're going to get a book submitted, pressing it, and maybe not so much cleaning it if it's a modern, but pressing it is an absolute must because you know what? You're just leaving money on the table. So let's just talk about that real quick. Dave, 50-50 for you, 70-80-20.
I mean,
they're modern.
When I initially started slabbing things, I wouldn't press, but now it's like almost close to 100%.
100%, right? Okay.
Almost.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
Justin?
Yeah, I mean, Silver Age, you have to press.
You have to press. You have to press
modern.
Silver Age.
Just if you want a 9.8 or if you want to clearly guarantee yourself a 9.8 for the $10 or $8 if you guys go through Rocket Comics and use 3 Men in a Basement.
That's right. Promo code,
our sponsor.
Yep.
Hey, for $8 more to have them, press it, to come back at 9.8, because the difference, and we've talked about this on Lords of the Long Box, the pricing between a 9.8 and a 9.6 in any book is could be hundreds of dollars.
Right.
So, why, like you said, why leave that money on the table?
Correct.
Why not just spend it and just do it? I mean, yes, it's going to take a little bit more time to press it, but you know what? At least it's done. And you know that if you grade it and it comes, yes, it comes back a 9.6, but if you had it pressed, at least that this has been pressed. There's no way it's getting any higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pressed by professionals. Yeah. It's not getting any higher.
Correct. Dude, we have a dig at Roger right now.
So
King of the Golden State says, I submitted my Batman 635 after reading it, and it came back at 9.8. Did that ever happen to you?
Real mature.
That's real mature. So anyway.
So there are 2 books that I've ever submitted without having them pressed.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Good story right here.
Okay. The first one, it's not the first one I ever submitted. You know what? You're right about the Carnage. Now it's all coming back.
Here we go. Here we go.
If you've been here since the beginning of the show, I know who I sell books to.
So first ever book I submitted was a 360 when it came back at 9.2. Okay. So the second ever book, my neighbor, I'm an electrician by trade, and he was having some problems at the house, and the house isn't the safest when it comes to. He's got aluminum wiring, the whole thing. But every time, I get this funny smell coming out of my wall. Can you come check it out? And one time, it was like stovetop was on fire. So I go over there, take care of it because I'm his neighbor. What do I owe you? What do you owe me? Half the time you're taking my kids to school. So after the 4th time this happens, and there was flames shooting out of his daughter's switch, and I changed it up, and I had the parts in the house and stuff. I said, I'm not. So this guy was a comic book collector years ago, and he liked specific artists. So when it got to the point where specific artists either were doing too much or they, he was a huge
Arthur Adams fan.
Yeah, the guy,
McFarlane.
Fathom, the guy who passed away.
Oh, Michael Turner.
Michael Turner.
Huge Turner fan, like McFarlane. And so he doesn't have anything modern. And every once in a while we go down there. He's got some big statues of
Cool looking statues.
like giant Predator statues
Yep.
and stuff.
Wow, that's awesome.
Really cool stuff.
So I said, I'm not taking payment. He's like, he goes, how many times you stop my house from burning down?
You know how many times you sprout my
He says, I'm giving you this as payment, and if you don't take it, I'm going to burn it. And it was an Amazing Spider-Man 300 raw copy. He bought it off the shelf.
off the rack, right?
Still new at this whole thing. I sent it into CGC, and they came back a 9.8.
That's unbelievable. Now,
Untouched. From him buying it, putting it in a box
you
with
think
a
he
board.
read it though?
Yes, he said
I know he read
it.
it. He read it.
Yeah.
So he read it.
Read it,
So-
put it in a board bag, put it in a box, and it sat there
Yep.
until he gave it to me.
It is so hard to get that book because of the black spine. You know what I mean? And the fact that he actually read it means he manhandled, he handled it and stuff like that. So he got really lucky.
That's
And the
crazy.
second book I ever submitted without being impressed
Yeah.
was a Teen Titans 12.
Here we go.
And we're just
I don't
gonna
know what
leave-
happened with that
We're
book.
just going to leave that there.
Really,
But other than
really
that, I
good.
agree. I think that why take the chance? Why leave the money on the table? It's an extra $10, whether you have CGC do it or you have someone that's submitting for you do it. I'll have Rocket Comics do it. It's worth the extra money because
Absolutely.
if it comes back on 9.6, you're like, crap. If I had it pressed, it would have been a
No, then you got to do it again, right? Then
Why,
you gotta do it again.
why even
Press
put yourself
repeat.
through that?
Yes, yes,
Just
exactly.
Spend the extra few dollars, have it done, and the story.
Yeah, so we got some new people jumping out. We got Johnny Dakota. We got Alex Perez. Thank you very much. King of the Golden State says, all love, brother. It was directed at you. We've got Cap and Crunch going on. So pre-screen, baby. Absolutely. So, guys, not only did we do a day show, not only did we do a comic swap, we've been kicking it with you guys almost for 90 minutes right now. So we're going to wrap up. We're going to give you some parting words. So we're just going to go around the table right now and just say goodbye to everybody. So, Dave, thank you very much for joining us. An honorary new official member of
New
3 Men in the
official member,
Basement.
3 Men, not
So,
honorary anymore. He's
Not
an
honorary, that's
official.
right. He's official. He's been knighted. He has the hoodie.
And he
He's got to get it
accepted.
tattooed. So, and he accepted, right?
accepted
Thank
it.
God. So,
Oh, yeah.
Dave,
Wait till you find out the tattoo you have to get.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
So,
ready. I'm fiending for
You're ready
a
to go.
tattoo.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
so, Dave, any parting words for everybody?
No, I mean, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I almost cried.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, no, this is great. Today was great. I can't wait for the next one, and onward and upward.
Let's go. All right. Justin, what do you got, buddy?
Again, I want to thank everybody who's watching this live, who's watching in the rewind, anybody who came out today. Thank you so much for making the trip. Everybody from, I've been busting this for like months, and my wife knows I've been freaking out the past week. Like, are people going to show? Is it going to snow? Is it going to rain? Am I not going to have anybody to come
That's right.
through? I mean, this was my baby. I literally have been doing so much for this, promoting this. It's definitely going to come back to Jersey if the next one is in Connecticut. But for the guys that showed up today, for the people that saw pictures on my Instagram, we're definitely going to have it again there. I talked to the owner. He said it was great. It made business for him as well. So definitely when the next time we bring it back in Jersey, it will be there again at Frenchie's Bar and Grill. Much love for everybody in the IG YouTube community. I want to thank my brothers here because, without them, Roger doing the trivia, this guy running the mic, it was great. So, thank you so much.
Machine.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Everybody played their part. We made deals. We, sold stuff, bought stuff. It's been a lot of fun. So, I'm excited. More videos coming from us, live shows. That's really all I got. So,
Yeah.
I always say the most valuable thing a person has to give is their time. And the fact that you guys are spending your time watching our show, commenting, having a good time with us, makes me just want to say I appreciate you guys and keep watching. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that being said, so you guys in the comments, please comment, share, tell us what you guys liked about this stuff, what you guys would like us to talk about. We've got a lot of ideas that have been driven from the comments, and it's just driving our content.
Yep.
We had a great time today. You guys know what's coming on in the future. We're giving you 2 live shows a month, maybe 3. If it's not me and Roger, it's Justin and Dave in the Cave. Pat, Bernie 1869. Right. Dave in the Grotto, So you will definitely get at least 2 live shows a month from us, if not videos that we have. And so Shout out to Justin for doing everything that he did. Shout out
Yeah.
to everybody in the
Big shout out to Justin.
yeah,
You
for
worked your
everything
ass
he
off
did
for
today.
this,
So
we
comment,
appreciate that.
subscribe, like our videos, please share them. It only helps us out. So on behalf of all my brothers in the Lords of the Long Box, TiVo, Darkside Jedi, Milton the Manimal, on behalf of all my brothers right here, Shortbox Burning, Nemesis Prime, David the Cave, Roger Levesque, I'm your host Otto, and I am out. Peace.
Peace. Go blue.